Welcome to Creekside 9, part of my unique cabin series. This is mildly unique in that it is a two-room cabin, but unlike most two-room cabins in the park, this has its 8x16 addition on the side instead of going off the back. This is a beautiful view. It's nice to have a double cabin with 6 cots here right on Quaker Run Creek. I see some dam work has been done here. Do have to be careful around this campfire. You don't want to take a spill in the drink here, and look at that erosion. Amazing. But beautiful view here on Creekside 9. So it's your typical 16x16 cabin with an 8x16 addition on it. And these additions were built by folks that rented these a year at a time, or sometimes 5-year blocks, and they would get a permit from the park to put additions on these. And they have to be within certain parameters, park stated parameters. And basically they use the same novelty siding on the outside. They use 2 foot on center construction, etc., etc. Now this could probably use some diagonal bracing in it, or at least some collar ties here to strengthen it, because these particular hip roofs on here are well engineered for this size structure. They displace the load equally on the walls. When that load is interrupted, such as an addition here, some of these cabins have known to rack. In other words, they would go diagonally because of wind shear and the weakening of the structure. And then they were torn down. A couple on Pine Tree, I think Creekside 6, to name a couple. But anyways, this has wainscoting going around it, and like Creekside 15, they probably did that for insect infiltration and just a little bit more pleasant when your head's against the wall. So in this particular case, we've got 3 cots in the main room, and the Octopus Hooks located throughout the cabins, provided by the Friends of Allegany. We installed over 500 hooks in all of the primitive cabins and in Group Camp 12 as well. It's nice, this has a little extra cupboard space. It has a half hutch there, your 20-inch typical propane stove, always a smoke and CO2 detector and a fire extinguisher, and your typical box stove right there. If you want to learn how to use a box stove, check out my YouTube channel that this video is posted on, obviously, and I have a tutorial on that, on how to use that safely and efficiently. But anyways, so we go into the back room, which again is roughly 8x16, and in this particular case here they also used hip construction on the side. And now on the back wall here they did employ sliding windows, and these other ones have your typical butterfly hinges. That's what a butterfly hinge looks like, if you can see that. There goes, lights up. Nice view out the side here, and they open up and are attached here by all kinds of MacGyver-like mechanisms, be it hooks or coat hangers or what have you. And you can see here that this has the novelty siding of the original exterior of the cabin, and they broke through the wall there and framed this out here using the same type of materials dimensionally and profile-wise. And so again, this is the back of the side addition here, overlooking the newly built Creekside 8 there. And Creekside 8 was hit by a tree, I would say about 7-8 years ago, and they rebuilt it with modern standards. It's a beautifully lined cabin, still at the same rate, surprisingly, as these other primitive cabins. It's a bit sterile, actually. I almost like the hominess of these oldies. But so this is Creekside 9. One of my personal favorites, especially being on the creek and being a double, having 6 cots here. You can fit a nice sized family in here. And these wood stoves will heat this up. These are 3-season cabins. They conclude Thanksgiving weekend and start back up in April, mid-April. They open up on half the primitives mid-April and then the other half in May, mainly because, there's a little guy right there, Chippy. Mainly because of weather conditions. Some, like Hamlin Trail, is treacherous, even if it's icy or a little bit snow, or it threatens to be those weather conditions. So, again, Creekside 9. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. You folks have a great Allegany day. Take care.